Hi, it's Matt here with your roadmap overview video. And of course, the whole purpose of the video is to go over your roadmap and just give you a really clear idea of how we've come up with the strategies that I'm going to outline here for you. And what I'll do at the end of the video is just ask you to go ahead and give us that 2 thumbs up. Hey guys, this looks great. I'm excited. I can't wait to get going on it. And I'm committed to doing the work, of course, that it will take to get all my goals accomplished. And of course, if you have questions or need things clarified, we can do that as well. But the whole idea at this point in the program is to come to a completed and agreed upon roadmap so we can move you into action. Now, before I do jump into, though, the steps, what I would like to do is just kind of take a step back and give you a good idea of a couple of frameworks that we work from as we're creating your roadmap, where the first one is called ICE. I for impact, C for confidence, E for ease of implementation. And the whole idea behind that is, let's say we had a hypothetical goal to get you to your next 1,000 subscribers, and over here we had a strategy that we have a high level of confidence in. We feel quite strongly that the impact will happen pretty quickly. Over here, we have another strategy where, maybe the level of confidence isn't quite as high. Might very well be a home run for you, but it might take longer, that sort of thing. So the idea is, let's go ahead and use that first strategy, get a result, get some momentum moving, and then build other strategies behind it. And then, so as we put on that VP of marketing hat for you, that is a framework that's helping us go and look at all the different strategies that are out there and pull in the ones that we feel are going to get you the most impact and result toward your goal. And then the other big framework is something called ATM, where A stands for attract, and that's anything to do with list building. T is teach and build a relationship with that list, and that's going to be your content. And M for monetization, your sales funnels. What we've also done is we've given you a 1-year goal, a big goal to shoot for, and we've also, because a year is, a relatively long period of time, right? And for all of us, it's easy to get off track if we're not careful and on focus. So we've also backed things up to a 30 and a 90-day milestone just to help get some result, get some momentum moving, and move on from there. And I guess lastly, what I'll just say before I jump into the steps of the roadmap is that I have found that it's very easy to look at this roadmap and let the mind wander into those areas of, hey, I'm not quite sure exactly how I would do that particular strategy that you're outlining there. And just realize that all the how-tos and the what-if stuff starts creeping into the mind, right? So I would just encourage you not to look at it that way and just look at it more from a broad overview perspective, realizing that once we do kick you off into action, we will teach each one of the micro steps inside each major marketing strategy, step by step. Okay, so with that said, let's jump in. And so over the first 30 days in the coaching program here, we're going to have a goal for you to book and complete your first successful partnership. And over the first 90 days, we're going to look at validating your LinkedIn course idea and have it ready for promotion. And then over the first year, we do feel like the stated goal you had of attaining $15,000 in monthly revenue from course sales is doable. I'll go over more in detail about that later, just because even though your list itself, you've really migrated down to less than 100 people right now and gotten rid of some of the dead weight there, you still have an influence of what you mentioned there is over 19,000 contacts. So we feel a combination of that, as well as what we're going to outline here in the steps, is going to help you reach this goal over the next 12 months. Now, what we also feel is very important is that any goal that you're shooting for has a deep why behind it. And so the why we've come up with for you here is, so I can build a business that has a positive impact on my customers while providing me the time and money freedom to play music, take care of my parents, and help my son travel the world. So if you could just let me know, if you could pause this and jump into the email that we sent this to you in, and just let me know, have we nailed the why? Meaning, hey, and I can tell from talking to you and also what you mentioned in your assessment, you're a positive person anyway, but let's just say a month from now you have a bad day or something. If you have this why in front of you, will that be helpful and impact you enough where you say, hey, let me get right back on my feet. Let's keep going. This is what I'm working for. It doesn't matter if I had a bad day or something disappointing happened. Let's keep going, right? And so if we haven't nailed it, in that reply email, if you could just let me know how you would adjust it so that we do have a good why for you, just write out what that would be in a 1-sentence why like this, where you have an external reason, what you're doing for your customers, and an internal reason, what it's doing for you. And then I'll put that into the finalized version. And of course, if we have nailed it, just let me know that, and we'll use what we have here. Okay, so let's jump into the steps of the roadmap. So number one, what we're going to get you focused on is to start and create your partnership system. Now what you're going to do here is assemble your Dream 100 and focus on lead magnet swap and free workshop partnerships, while also keeping your eyes and ears open for any variation opportunities that might come along, like a speaking gig, things like that. But the point here is that partnerships are going to get you many new warm and vouched for leads, and you're going to establish a regular partnership recruiting system that you'll continue to run for the entire year in the program and of course beyond. The target is to increase your monthly new qualified subscriber count by 1,000. Now what you're going to notice over here on each step is a action item due date. And I want to talk around those for just a second, because first of all, they're not meant to cause you any anxiety. And second, these are estimates. These are projections of when we think you should get done with a certain step. Now, they're movable though, again, not to cause you anxiety, meaning if you get it done a little bit faster, fantastic. We'll just adjust the other due dates on the other steps. If it takes you a little bit longer, no worries, we'll adjust the due dates. It's just meant to be there to give you a target, to keep you accountable, and to keep you from lingering and settling into one step for too long, where you don't want to be on this one step until September, for example, right? You want to move through it in a pretty good way. Now, a couple of other things that are important for you to realize about partnerships. It's very unlikely you're going to get to 1,000 new subscribers coming in every single month by this due date. Okay, that's the long-term goal in doing partnerships, and we'll get you there. What the due date for partnerships is really talking about is that you go into our training center, you learn the strategy, you begin implementing the strategy, and we get to the point where you have that one partnership booked and done, and as the 30-day goal that I put up there on top for you. And then we give you a weekly partnership plan, which is what this recruiting system thing was talking about, where on a very easy basis, you just follow a document that we give you on how to make sure your partnerships are running successfully week by week by week, meaning you're outreaching to new people each week. You're getting partnerships booked. You're completing partnerships that have been booked and agreed upon. And it's just a very simple, not any kind of crazy plan time-wise to get these partnerships running on a good evergreen process for you so that we do hit this target eventually. Okay, so once you're there and have that done, then we can move you into step number 2, which is to start your simple content plan. Now, let me just kind of let you know our thinking process here. You're already sending follow-ups to your list. What we would like to do is to get you on a very simple way to do that. That's a system that after you learn it in the first couple of weeks, it's a very simple thing, and you're just sending 2 emails a month. That's it. And make that a system so that you know that the T part of ATM is getting handled, so then we can keep you running with partnerships, keep most of the focus there, and then get most of the focus on the validation process in the next step. So again, we know you're already sending follow-ups. We're not saying that, hey, you got to build up to this because you haven't been doing it. It's just going to take what you've been doing and funnel it into a very simple plan. So here's the strategy on this. This is not an attraction strategy content, meaning it's not going on a public blog or anything like that. It's specifically what you're emailing your list. And the whole purpose is the T part of ATM, to keep the list warm, build a relationship with it so it doesn't go cold. And it does it with a minimal effort. Again, just 2 emails a month, but they're very effective emails, as you'll see when you get into this. And as you're doing it, it's a little bit of validation, because you want to keep your eyes open for any bleeding neck pain points that your people have or express to you as you're getting the target accomplished of 25% open rates and 2 to 5 replies to each email that you send out. So like I said, it's a pretty simple strategy, highly effective strategy, but it will just help get this part of ATM done for you without much effort on your part, which is really what we're focused on here at this point. Down the road, we have more complex follow-up email systems and sales sequences and all that we can get into. We just want to get this handled so your list never goes cold. Okay, number 3. Then we're going to move into validating your LinkedIn course idea. And when thinking through this process for you, you probably could validate right out of the gate because you do have a base of 19,000 people you could go to. But here's the thinking process on this and why we took this from step 1 to step 3. We really want to get partnerships going for you, because that's going to get you in front of audiences where you're thinking about how to get specifically now in front of audiences that would have a propensity to be very interested in a LinkedIn course. Okay, so what we want to do is have you add 1,000 new subscribers to the list that you have right now. And also because of the fact that you mentioned that even though you have 19,000 contacts, you know that there still needs to be a weeding out process going there. And so what we would like to do is add 1,000 new fresh subscribers between now and you doing validation. That's the thinking process. So just kind of how this has come together and why we're doing it step by step this way. And what you're going to do when you hit that goal is you're going to start from ground zero by going to those subscribers and finding the bleeding net problem that they have, discovering how they talk about it, so you can use those same words in all of your marketing, and then pre-selling and eventually creating your course to fit that. The target is to perfect your messaging, pricing, and positioning on your course and collect at least $2,000 in pre-sales in this process. It's about a 5-week validation sales funnel process, basically. Now, let me kind of talk around this for just a second, because this is so important. One of the things that you mentioned in your assessment that I want to go back to was where it was right here, where you said 3 bleeding neck pain points. Creating products that everyone loves until you ask them to pay for it. Having a message that's too clever, easily confused, misunderstood, unclear message, no sales. Being too close to the products, missing the minor details that make the difference between the sales and a boatload of work for nothing. It's something we see all the time, Russ. You're not alone in terms of creating products and trying to get sales from them. And you've created membership sites, you've taught classes, networking events, got killed by the churn, all that kind of stuff. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because the validation process here is really going to help fix all that. And what I mean by that is no longer building anything until your audience tells you that's what we want. Build it, okay? And the process is kind of like when we talk about and hear about the term, hey, that product jumps off the shelf offline. That's really what you're looking to create online. What you don't want is what you've experienced. You build something thinking you know what the audience wants, and then having them look at it and say, yeah, it looks okay, kind of okay, but they're not willing to put the credit card on the line at that point. What you want them to do is look at your offer, and where they say, I can't wait to buy this. I got to buy this. He's speaking my language, and this is exactly what I need. So here's what's happening here, and then I'll get off this point. I don't want to settle on this too long, but it's so important, and we'll get to this, and when you get to it, you'll get all the details on it. But I do want to finish with this, just so you can kind of see the vision of where we're taking you, is that what we can see, and I've already looked at several of your videos in creating the roadmap, you know your stuff. Like, you know how to teach this stuff, which is exciting to see. So we're not saying you don't know what to teach your audience or saying that you don't know what they need. Probably what the challenge has been is in communicating the fact that you know how to help them get their goal accomplished, like more leads through LinkedIn and that kind of thing. That's where this is really going to help. By going to your audience, learning how they talk about their problem, getting really honed in on that. So all of your messaging, especially, sales sequence emails, what's on the sales page, all that stuff is what has happened. You get it honed into where they look at that and they feel like you're speaking their language and talking to their needs, and to get them to the point where they can't wait to buy. That's what this will fix. It'll also fix any pricing issues where your audience, rather than you guessing or asking us to guess, hey, what should I price this at? Your audience tells you the sweet spot for pricing and all that, and the positioning. So let me get off of this. I just wanted to kind of give you the vision of how we're going to fix your past experiences with developing things and seeing no sales. Now, once you've got that data and that understanding from your audience, then we can round out into monetization, the M part of ATM, sales funnels. And the first thing you'll do is run a live promotion of your course to that entire list. Once that promotion's over, you'll turn that promotion evergreen, which we'll get to in step 5. And the target in the live promotion is 2 to 5% of your list of sales, okay? And then just like I alluded to here, step 5 will be once the live promotion is completed, you'll turn the promotion evergreen, so all new subscribers, again, the target getting to 1,000 plus a month coming in, that's our goal initially. And then once you get there, you look to go to 2,000, but that's the first initial goal. So you're going to turn up promotion, so all of these new subscribers that are coming in monthly are getting pitched the course in this same consistent manner. You'll also have a set 12-month-long live promotion schedule that takes you through mid-2020. So of course you're going to have this evergreen sales funnel, bringing you sales, whether you're eating, sleeping, doing something else, spending time with family or parents, that kind of thing. But we're also over time, every once in a while, doing a live promotion again, just to spike sales throughout the year. And the target is to implement an evergreen strategy so all new subscribers are pitched effectively and consistently. That's a big thing too. Okay, now what you're going to notice here is that the action item due dates end in the fall. They don't go to March or April 2020. There's a reason for that. What we would like to do is see you go through these 5 steps and get here where we now have real live, in real world data in numbers. How did the validation go? How are your partnerships going and getting these leads coming in? And most importantly, how did the big promotion go in terms of actual revenue numbers, and what is the evergreen funnel looking like in terms of bringing in revenue off that? And then from there, then we can talk about more exciting things that, not that it's more exciting than that, but exciting things that move things into the future, like how to scale from there and how to get this bigger and so on. And then, so that's why there's a reason for ending the action item due dates here. Let's get here, and then we can discuss how to move you forward from that point. Okay. What we also think is very important to end with is what we call a 12-month vision or a roadmap vision, where we give you an idea from our perspective, what does your life and business look like a year from now? And so here's what we've come up with for you. You have correctly validated your course idea. Huge thing. This means you avoid creating something and wondering why it doesn't sell well. You never worry about where the next sale will come from because you're attracting the perfect audience for your offering. Again, going back to that validation step. You've created a lead generation and sales funnel that consistently brings in revenue for your business. Every month you get 2 to 3 notes at least from customers telling you about the amazing difference you've made in their lives. You are happy and you're excited to see the vision for how to now scale your business into your next revenue goal. So that's the roadmap. And what you might want to do, if needed, is go back to the beginning of the video, just watch it again and really kind of take it in a second time and see the ATM of this. Attract leads, teach and build a relationship with those leads, monetize those leads, and get to revenue. And when you can say, hey guys, 2 thumbs up, love it, excited, just want to get started, kick me off into action. And again, I'm dedicated and committed to doing the work that I need to do to make my goals happen. Then the way you let us know that you're ready to move forward is just click this green button that says approve my roadmap. As soon as you do that, we'll kick you off into action. And just to kind of end this video, what that looks like is we'll get you right back on step 1. Forget about all the other steps from right now and get hyper focused on getting this done. And what that looks like is the 4 pillars of our program that I think I mentioned in our phone call in passing. But just to reiterate, pillar number 1 will get you right into our training center where you're going to learn partnerships and begin implementing partnerships. And then inevitably what happens is you get a roadblock on something. And so pillar number 2 kicks in, which is our coaching. So when you hit a roadblock on anything, any step along the way, I'll usually get back to you in 1 of 3 ways to help you overcome that. 1, if it's super simple, I'll just shoot a text-based email and say, hey Russ, do this, go to the next step. Or if I think it needs more explanation, I'll create a quick video just for you, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes long, verbally explain and help you overcome that roadblock that way. Or if it's a little more complicated in nature and we think we should be workshopping it through with you one-on-one in real time, we'll kick it off to one of our next group coaching calls and do it right there. And that's the 3rd pillar. You get the scheduling for the calls, you get the past recordings, and then the 4th big pillar is what we call a 90-day check-in, where once we kick you off and get you into everything, you'll go to my calendar and set up a date 90 days out, where then you and I can get back together for our next one-on-one call and kind of take a breather and talk through together. How did the first 90 days go? What's working like gangbusters? What did we put into play that we got a result, but maybe it wasn't exactly what we're looking for, which is perfectly okay, and that's just marketing. And then what do we do to adjust and tweak that so we get that result we're really looking for, and then keep you moving through the program successfully from there. So that's the roadmap. And if you're ready to go, just click that green button below, and then I'll get you everything you need to get kicked off into action, and looking forward to working with you.